Wow, isn't mythical martial artist amazing? Well, now you can fulfill the mythical fantasy in this game, The Tale of Immortal. Tale of Immortal is a 2D open world sandbox RPG developed by this studio in China. In the game, you assume the role of a 修仙者, a mythical cultivator. Your main goal is to obtain immortality through cultivation of martial arts and qi. It is set in the world of mythical ancient China, where its land is terrorized by mythical monsters and demons featured in the ancient text classic of mountains and seas. Okay, before I continue, let me insert a short exposition dump here. If you are not familiar with all these terminologies, just think of it as Chinese Jedi warriors, which utilize qi instead of the force. I know it's not the best explanation, but it is quite similar in nature, trust me. You start off as a young cultivator that came across a creepy old man in the middle of a bamboo forest. This might sound wrong, but a lot of these novels have some creepy old man approaching young kids, then teach them martial arts. Anyway, without giving you much details, the old man vanishes and asks you to look for him in Tianyuan Mountain. And that's it basically. The rest of the story is up to you to decide. There is a rough guideline of main story quests to lead you to a new area, but you are free to do anything you like in between and sculpt your own story. You can imagine as something like a tabletop RPG. Just like a TTRPG, you have access to customize every minute details about your character, from the way you look, characteristics, abilities, and skills. These parameters will mostly just affect your starting gameplay. You can pretty much build your characters any way you like later in the game. After the character creation, you are pretty much free to play the game however you want, right from the start. Well, there are actually some way to make the beginning easier, but that's a topic for another video. Your main focus from this point onward is to cultivate your Qi level, which is basically your experience point in this game. After accumulating enough Qi level, you are able to ascend into a higher spiritual level, which boosts your overall character stat by a huge amount. Upon leveling up 3 times within a level, you have to go through some tough boss battle to obtain key item that allows your character to break through to a higher form. There are a total of 8 levels to achieve immortality, and the requirements get harder and harder after each level. At the core, the game is just that, very simple, and the simplicity is honestly quite addicting. The open world map is a huge grid system that is randomly generated each playthrough. Traveling around the maps consumes in-game days. You have 30 days each turn to do various activities that pops up across the map, something like drawing chi and mini-boss fight. Once the 30 days are used up, you will proceed to the next month and the state of the world change. Your goal is to reach immortality before your lifespan is over. No worries though, the max lifespan will increase every time you level up to a higher form. The combat system is basically a bullet hell shooter like the old school Flash game on the internet. Simply speaking, you fire projectiles at the enemies while avoiding their projectile. By choosing different weapons or elements, you can change to a different projectile pattern with varying effects. For example, the normal sword fires a medium range single hit bullets at high speed. The fingers have shorter range but can pierce through enemies. It travels through and fro from the players, dealing damage both ways. If you fancy some element bending, the elemental skill shoot projectiles in wide range that deals higher damage but took longer to cool down. There are also 4 types of active skills that you can equip to your character. They are the main martial art attack, the special attack, a movement ability, and of course, the ultimate attack. You can mix and match different skills to your heart content. There are no penalty to learning every skill possible in this game. In terms of battles, there are quite a number of different battle scenarios that you will encounter. There is a normal mob battle, the mid boss, and the big boss. Then there is the 1v1 against other cultivators, 1v many cultivators, and also guild wars too. So no worries, you have plenty of things to do before you will get fought. Speaking of contents, let's move on to the various progression system in the game. Apart from the spiritual level I mentioned just now, there are still like 10 other things you can level up in this game. Firstly, all the skills in this game can be leveled up through repeated use. As any RPG, each skills have various random passive abilities attached to it. When you get more familiar with your skills, you will slowly unlock all these passive abilities. Then there's the guild system that you can level up to. By raising through the rank in the guild, you can get a lot of perks, such as discounts, and other NPCs start to respect and befriend you. You can also level up your relationship with NPC and form bonds with them. You can be sworn siblings, master and students, couples, and even getting in a marriage. Just be careful with who you flirt with. I accidentally end up with a dude that is already married. Besides that, there are also the forging level, herbology level, alchemy level, feng shui level, etc. etc. Again, plenty of things to do before you get bored. Now let us talk about the design. The overall design theme is based on traditional ink wash painting. So you are basically looking at a beautiful painting as you are playing the game. Most theme songs are played using the classic Chinese flute and the guzheng, so be ready to enter a state of zen while playing the game. Well, of course we need to talk about the bad things too. Luckily, not much bad things can be pointed out through my 50 hours of gameplay so far. Firstly, the English translation is kinda awful, but not to the point of game breaking. Just that the name of characters and skills can be a bit jarring sometimes. The overall story can be understood quite easily. Although the musics are beautiful, there are not a lot of options available as of writing. You will hear the same BGM over and over again, so be ready for that. About the progression of the game, the first two areas can be a little bit boring after you got the basic down. The third area onwards is interesting as the story starts to pick up pace. Lastly, the game is still in early access, but a big update is coming soon, so you are unlikely to run out of things to do anytime soon. Currently, the game is only available on PC. System requirements will be put on the screen for your reference. Overall, this game is a solid 3.5 out of 5 on my list. It is a relaxing way to spend time, especially for me with a full-time job. Here's another awesome game you should check out too. I'm Brian from Malaysia, over and out.